Okay, hello and welcome back to Heroes 3 as we continue Barren Lands, and I really definitely do think it's fair to say we are approaching the closing phases of this map now. So I think all of our heroes have their own job to be doing, so Jaegar's job for this episode is to find the presumably dungeon town in this gloom and to take that, and once he's done doing that he is to go to the east and take down Moston. Dima has kind of run himself into a bit of a cul-de-sac. If he manages to do anything at all, then I'll be pleased for him. The obvious job for him will be to chase down Caitlyn, I think. Jedi is going to go to the west and to chase down Thant first, then go to the south and finish off Coronius, just basically to clear out anything left of red in the southeast of the map. I did ever think about whether we should swap out some of his units for tower units instead, so that we don't have to deal with terrain penalty, but I think it's just a little bit too dangerous. Like, Thant's probably fine to take on, but I think Coronius potentially could attack us and cause us some problems, so even though we do have a terrain penalty to worry about, if we bring these units we're pretty much guaranteed to succeed. Mafala's job is to go to the south and to take on the town of Bok as well as Malcolm, although Malekith's job is going to be pretty much the same thing. I'm not totally confident Mafala is going to be strong enough to do it, whereas Malekith probably should be, so he's going to go straight to the north. Grab some bits as he passes through. We'll also go for the watering hole, and I think I'm going to go to the east as well because I do want to go to the magic spring. Gunnar's job is to take back the town of Facture and to chase down, hunt down any of Blue's remaining heroes. Kaya's job is to retake Crag and to hunt down anything Red has in the northeast of the map. They do have a few heroes around here. So to the south we see Zarfax, who did give us some problems. He's actually also approaching the Cove town, which is a little bit annoying. I don't really have anything to deal with that, but Kaya does have the logistics specialty, of course, so hopefully she can chase him down. And then Alamar, this is a bit of a weird one, but I've had to think about this, and I do think, as strange as it is, it probably does make sense for Alamar to go back to Transom. He could also be the one to chase down Zarfax if we need to, but I think Transom is the main place he needs to go. I've used up some movement points by clicking on this twice, but never mind. So the reason to go to Transom is because we do want to go back to the west, and he is going to be the candidate to take down Norovo and to challenge Ufritin, the strongest hero of Orange, who is our main opponent left on the map. Gundula just there too could cause us some problems, a little bit difficult for us to reach though. I think the best bet is just to get on the boat, and if we have to we can send Jedi to the west to deal with the invaders and things. I don't think there are any threats we need to worry about as we end the turn, so let's just click that button. As we can see, Red is actually going towards our Rampart town, which is still a bit of a problem. Orange also potentially coming towards our other Rampart town. It was never going to be super straightforward. Yeah, so now that there are so few players left on the map, they are just spreading out with heroes everywhere. Okay, we're just going to follow this down. We can see a path just there, so this probably leads to the final town. We do have Boots of Speed just there. We can see the final dungeon town just down there. So that should be every basic town accounted for. Yep, Chana's not going to stand a chance against us. Dima is... I think we move him last. I'm going to go back to Gunnar first. So Zubin is not really doing too much. We're not able to reach Cuthbert. The town itself should be pretty easy to take down. I think we will go for the extra attack as we pass through. Can we still reach? Not quite. Okay. In that case, let's go to the west. Let's finish this hero off. This town still needs to be built up a bit, so I'm not too worried about if we leave it for a turn or two. Okay, a few losses expected here. Let's see if we can do slightly better. This hero is not the best in terms of skills and things. No great way of spreading the damage out. Here's more hit points out of this stack and this one. Okay, good. They are going to move out. Okay, I think we did manage to save ourselves from a few losses. I will go for Wisdom. This hero could be quite important, and I think it does make sense to try and get a few good spells if we can. So we go in, we get the attack boost. We'll come back to this later. Malekith, first of all, is going to go up in the northeast direction, although I am a little bit worried about Oris, who approaches us. Although actually, I don't think she can reach before the end of the week, so we should be able to put some basic defenders in. Should be okay. Seer's Hut just there I'm kind of curious about, but I think we mostly just want to beeline towards the town. So we can see Thant has gone in a bit of an annoying direction. Not sure if we really should be chasing him down. Perhaps it makes more sense to go for Coronius. But if we do go in this direction, there is the Library of Enlightenment just there, which could be kind of useful to have. I think we just need to go for it. Everyone's going to do their bit to chase down enemy heroes. Okay, let's grab some extra units too. So we'll take the champions, zealots, crusaders perhaps. The silver pegasi are useful. The magic damper. Not good for our morale, but it's fine. It's not going to be too bad. Fire magic, I don't think we bother. Okay, so this town is potentially threatened by Gunnar, but we are able to do something about that. We can build the Portal of Glory, we can recruit a basic hero. It's not going to be enough to hold this off, but I think Alamar just has more important things to be doing. So we could see Ufratin did board a ship. Don't think any of that really changes our thinking. Let's just sail straight towards him. So how many movement points do we have? Could we land this turn? We could. But I think we actually still save movement points by just sailing as close as possible. Okay, that leaves Kaya. So Kaya could be chasing down Ash, and probably does make sense for her to do so. So yeah, not too many movement points. Probably better off if we spend the rest of the turn just over here. Thema is, I don't know if this is the right choice, but there's not really any major threats on this side of the map now. So we're gonna just follow this up, see where it goes. I assume Caitlyn has gone to the east. Not seeing a major need to recruit in any of our towns. If this town does get attacked, there are some defenders in here. We could also go for upgraded Dragon Cliffs at some point. I think that does make sense to do, so let's go for Mage Guild level 3. The Gold Dragons will also be immune to Berserk, which is useful because that is definitely the most scary thing about Sarfax. Okay, just going to end the turn there. So Red is running even further away. This is the most important one, and they are going to go for our town, unfortunately. Okay, so Malcolm appears to be coming to attack us. Teal's still not immediately threatening us. So yeah, not too worried about anything Charna can do. Let's just throw ourselves straight into this, take that final dungeon town. Seeing a great spot for a meteor shower. Black Dragon's obviously immune, but it's got to be done. Okay, no loss taken. So we resurrect these. We can't quite kill them off, but it's fine. It's gonna be one more resurrection. So Chalna doesn't have too much of note. If we look in the town, it does have a mage guild, doesn't have a pool of summoning, does have a mana vortex, also has the artifact merchants, but there's still not really too much in here. I will actually buy this. It would make more sense to buy it with... what do we choose between pool of summoning and mage guild level 4? It would be really good if we can get an extra crystal dragon, but it's also a lot more chance space. So resource situation is absolutely fine, let's just go for this. See what we get, so we get Frenzy plus Slayer. Could go for some spell research too, that's probably fine to do. Okay, Resurrection or Meteor Shower, I've already got both of those. Fine, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go to this. Mana Vortex has already been used this week. This is fine. This guy's never gonna run out of spell points. If we go to the west, that potentially looks like it does lead us towards orange. So is Mephala strong enough to take on Malcolm? So he is very close. She could do with some more spell points, getting some of those spell points back. Is there a well? Doesn't seem there is. So we could go for a couple of resurrections if we need to. I'm gonna go for this. Expert Earth Magic, okay, that's a step up. We can reach. I think we just go for this. If we lose, it's not too much of a big deal. So he's got 260 spell points, and I didn't realize just how much better his stats are than ours. So if we go, we don't have Meteor Shower. Of course, our spellcasting's not that good. If we go for the slow, he does have a few range units, but nothing too amazing. He might have the mass haste, but there's only one way to find out. We're gonna go for slow. Then let's wait. Oh wow, it's got the implosion. And he goes straight for it on our strongest stack. Okay, this is obviously a big problem. We do have resurrection, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, I think our stats are just not really good enough. It's fine, this is why we're bringing Malekith. Okay, so other spell options, shield is probably a good one to go for, 30% extra defense. So he's now going to have a lot of moves in a row. We'll see what damage he does. Mummies are a pretty serious threat. Ah, he goes for the implosion. So those implosions are probably going to swing things in his favor, no matter what we do. We could go for Stone Skin, we could go for Anti-Magic, but we've already lost most of our real power stacks. The Royal Griffins, perhaps? Thing is, if we Anti-Magic those, it does, I think, dispel. Protects us from all spells except Dispel, removes all negative spells except Disrupting Ray. It's very expensive though. Lasts for 6 rounds. So could this stack finish everything off on its own? So realistically the mummies are just as dangerous. And he has much better stats. Stone Skin could be good, but yeah, I think we do need to anti-magic something, so we're going to try and protect these. Okay, so this is pretty much our power stack, can only get 1 to 2 kills against these. Do have a chance of a kill on the Ancient Behemoths. I don't think it's quite in our favour. However, if we follow it up with the Zealots attack, that should be enough to kill one of them off. So the mummies have 3 speed, which is 1, 2, 3. They are able to reach the Archdevils. I think we go for these instead. Okay, so he's going for Resurrection instead. That's pretty much just as bad for us. What can we do with 14 spell points? So we don't have Resurrection of our own. We do have several magic arrows we could go for, but I don't think that really makes sense. If we go for one more anti-magic, don't really have any stacks strong enough to really benefit from that. We could go for blind, but it's all of our remaining spell points. Stone Skin is kind of tempting. So all the rocks came back. So we could Stone Skin into blind, or we could blind into Stone Skin. Either way, he's going to keep casting spells. Can't blind the mummies. I'm going to blind these. Thing is, I'm not sure the Royal Griffins even win the fight against the rocks. So, currently, we are actually safe from the Ancient Behemoths. I'm just gonna go for this. Okay, we get the morale, that helps. So 2 rocks go down to that, and we can shoot them, take 1 more down. Starts going for elemental summons. Okay, but this time, if he is able to defeat us, we are just gonna flee. Able to take the hits pretty well. Now I think we go for that Stone Skin. Try and hang on to as many units as possible. So still 62 hit points to go. I think we should be able to survive retaliation. This stack will actually wait. Okay, Archdevils go down. Took a risk, it doesn't quite pay off. We have no spell points left, he still does, but if he keeps going for Resurrections, that's probably fine. Or Summons even. Resurrections would be bad. If he keeps going for Summons, that's probably fine. So we can't really slow these things down. If we throw ourselves in against the Ancient Behemoth, Could work out for us. I'm going to give it a go. Okay, still going for resurrections. Yeah, we're not winning this. Thing is, we have weakened him enough that I don't think he can take the castle down. So, do we retreat? I think not just yet. We could go for surrender. 5,000 gold. It's easily affordable, let's just do it. It's diminishing returns at this point. So we're going to go right back to the town he's attacking. And that seems like the obvious place to recruit. We should have at least one turn to prepare. So we're going to take all the units, see what we end up with. So it's definitely a weaker force than it was, but with the help of the towers, could work out. Could also go for Pool of Glory. It's day 7. So even though it's extremely expensive, it might be the thing to do. Okay, we'll come back to that. So firstly, I do want to remove this hero. Okay, so spell options, we still got no blind. We've got a lightning bolt that does a decent amount of damage. Slow only affects 1 stack, but I can see a couple of stacks that I think are worth going for. So yeah, I think in the absence of any massively obvious choices, we're going to slow these down. Then let's wait. Okay, wow, goes for the haste on those, so we'll see what they do. So they kill off half of our harpies, but they are now in range. Yeah, lack of good spells is a problem, but I think we just need to focus down the strongest stack we can. This all feels pretty low stakes, but it's got to be done. Okay, so no safe location for us to attack with this stack, so let's just go for the goblins. Goes for the haste on those, not too surprising. Does make them a bit of a threat, but let's see what they do. Okay, fine. Okay, Zubin goes down, only take losses to 2 stacks. They will not get the chance to reinforce their town, because we will move fast as a human player. Okay, so Ufraten is going towards our other town. It's fine, we still need to go for this. This is more important. Lock this town in. Ash has conveniently placed herself pretty nearby. We have a much stronger force. We could go for the... Oh, we actually already have the stat boost from that. That's how long we've had Kaya going for. Since very early on, oh wow. Just gonna go for the buff. So our spells are at least very cheap. Could go for blind on something. I think main thing we want to do is make sure these aren't too relevant. Let's hope for the cure. No, okay. So I guess they don't have a town, which means they won't flee. Still no losses to the Titans. We finish Ash off, and we do get the ever-smoking Ring of Sulfur. That's pretty good. Nothing too amazing, of course. If we go for basic interference, that's kind of interesting. Sure, we'll do that. So 2 levels from that. Do we just go back to this, or... Well, I don't think it makes sense to go for the watering hole. I think we do want to go over to the south. And I don't think red is attacking us. Obviously the added fog of war is a little bit annoying, but just going to see how this plays out. Okay, so red continues to flee up in this direction. That could be an ongoing problem. I think Malekith will go to get the extra defense. Then we start moving up towards the Magic Spring. Jedi we have already gone to, I guess we come back to that later. So, still kind of curious what the point of all this is. Does it actually lead anywhere important? So we're going to stay focused on the mission. Let's take down Krelian. Krelian is Teal's best hero. Jedi still goes up this way, Mafala stays in place, and if we look back at this town, could be attacked this turn. Therefore, it would be lovely if we didn't have to go for it because we've got so much interest coming in. But yeah, I think we do need some kind of defender here. So Grindon starts off with Earth Magic, which is pretty good. I think he's the obvious pick, but we do need to put someone in the town. So, might have to let Galer go for that reason. Just checking there's no one else. Yep, okay. So we're gonna miss this guy's 350 gold per turn, but we are replacing him with a hero from the exact same faction with the exact same specialty, so I guess that's not too bad. Okay, upgraded Dragon Cliffs, let's do it. Okay, so it's not much, but it's something. Let's see what happens. So yep, as expected, red is just going to move as far away as possible, can reach us in this town, so we've got an extra job to do. Should be able to weaken him quite a lot. Ah yeah, he does with the ballistics. Okay, so we can go for the blind, it lasts for 3 rounds, that's not actually too bad. No one can reach us yet. I think we wait. Okay, it's gonna go for the summons. Didn't think those could reach us. Let's blind these. Yeah, the summons are going to be pretty difficult to deal with. But if we can take out all of its forces, that should still work for us. So Magic Arrow costs 4 points per time, so we could spend 12 spell points in order to wipe out the... Oh, it's just basic first aid, so it's completely fine, not really worth going for. Okay, so in that case, do we go for blind? I do think we do. I think we hold our spell points in reserve. Okay, that's not good. So the problem with this is, because of their ballistics, the towers are just not going to stay relevant for very long. Okay, should we at least start brawling the Thunderbirds? I don't think we do that yet. I'm gonna blind these. Yeah, so tower's already going down. Oh wow. Very unexpected. They do unblind the Thunderbirds, but I'm not sure it's worth the cost. So he's going to have 2 pretty good stacks left, plus the additional reinforcements from this town. Just going to blind these again. Final tower goes down. Let's kill these off. Okay, nothing else we can do. So we have at least been able to do a lot of damage to his units, so hopefully Kaya can come and sweep that up. We do see Caitlyn, she does re-emerge. I'm going to need to watch this back, there's a lot going on. We can see the dungeon town is potentially threatened. Wow, that's a lot of movement. Didn't expect that. Teal heroes returning to defend. Okay, fine. So we're going to have to, I think, chase Mitra down. Just going to accept that. We'll still take extra stats. Move towards this town. Hopefully we have enough to hold whatever this is off. Ah, probably not. So it's Bertram. So yeah, lots of annoying little things to deal with. Okay, we're going to go to this Magic Spring. And we're going to go straight for the town of Bok. That seems fine. Okay, so let's see where Blue's heroes have gone. So it looks like they're fleeing to the southeast. Lots of orange activity to our west. Okay, we can deal with that. Okay, so Dima, I am still really curious to see what this reveals. Let's just go check it out. So over in that direction, possibly actually a portal, I think. But yeah, we do see Caitlyn. She is a pretty strong hero. I don't think she can reach in time to save Blue from expiring. Okay, so if Kai goes straight to the south, how long would it take to reach this town? At least 4 turns. Just gonna have to try it. There is a magic spring there, which helps. Guess we'll have to bring Jedi this way too. Okay, so let's bring these units together. Go for the attack on the town. No need to go for a cast. Okay, so we managed to take down both of the towers, that's great. Let's attack these next. Go for the all-important resurrection, finish them off, no losses. Didn't spend too many spell points, and we do go into the town where we can pick up a fresh batch of Grail enhanced Cove units. So I don't think we need to go for the Mage Guild. Just gonna go for the best units we can. So I think Haspids, Sea Dogs, Nyx. Then it's a choice between Acids and Sorceresses. So I think Sorceresses for the debuffs we can apply are gonna be the best bet. Then we buy the rest of the units just as defenders, just in case. Alamar boards the ship. All of our heroes have now technically moved. So Malcolm approaches with his remaining units. We do have a fresh batch of units in here too. Could have gone for the Angels in hindsight, but I think we still have enough. Could just challenge him. I don't really want him running off. I think we just go for this. So still expected to lose well. Yeah, he's still got that really powerful spell casting. So it's mainly just those mummies. They're really tough to deal with. Do we have any stacks that are massively worth protecting? Perhaps the Zealots. Gonna anti-magic those. Yeah, Zealot's still not quite strong enough. So we can go in if we want to, we can start weakening these. That invites the Thunderbirds in, but I don't think that's such a problem. Let's just go for this. Wow. Okay, that's pretty horrendous. Just gonna go for more anti-magic because I think we need to protect ourselves from that stuff at all costs. I forgot how few of these we have left. So 4 to 6 kills if we go in for the attack. I think we just have to start weakening these. Okay. Could see how we lose this. Shield, perhaps. Do we shield or do we slow? So we're already faster with most of our important stacks. I think we go for shield. Kill these off. Go for the shot. Do we cure? Do we dispel? I think we dispel just to be safe. Saves a spell point, which could end up being important. Weaken these some more. Blinds again, okay, that's fine. Yep, so this is a pretty acceptable loop to have locked him in. Okay, that's a lot worse. Is there a chance we could kill these off? It's gonna be close. So we could kill these off, then we attack the Ogre Magi. The Crusaders are not able to reach. So we gotta hit these. And yeah, Crusaders won't be able to kill these off, but let's just see what happens. Goes for a Frost Ring and flees, that's fine. So first aid would be really good on an armorer specialist. But let's just get armorer. Okay, so that's all done. Mephala has probably done her job for the rest of the playthrough. Another threat dealt with, and I think we probably need to think more seriously about how we're going to get this town back. So if we have a look at what's available, we do have a fresh batch of tower units in this town. Pretty basic stuff. Same thing in this town, really just 1 week's worth of units. We have a look in the tavern, so we've got Lorelei and Zilaire. We go in this town instead, a much stronger batch of units. So yeah, I think we do need to invest in this town too. Okay, let's watch this back and let's see what we need to deal with. So we know about that red hero, we know about that one. This blue hero shouldn't be too much of a threat. Orange heroes in multiple places. So yeah, the orange hero going towards the dungeon town is a bit of a problem. Okay, we're gonna get what little defense we can. So Lorelei is level 1, but she does have fire magic. Other things we can do, so we can take the mana vortex boost, which I think we're going to have to do. Battle Scholar Academy versus Portal of Summoning. Portal of Summoning is rolling the dice. But this just seems more likely to be helpful. So we get basic earth magic, that's good. Yeah, I don't think we can hold this off, but let's at least go for this. Get some luck on morale, and we'll come back. Okay, then over in this town we're going to go for anyone who can help us take the fight back to our opponent. So Zelair does come with a few extra Cove units, so we're going to go for him. Buy every unit we possibly can. So 14 Nyx Warriors is pretty good. A lot of gold spent, but that's a pretty good force. So if we are able to hit our opponents hard enough, go straight for Zarfax, we might be able to do enough damage to him to outweigh his various spellcasting options. The Mass Berserk is something we need to be very careful of, but there's also not really too much we can do about it, other than have our less important units grouped together. Yeah, it's tough. All these units are potentially quite important. We'll see what we can do. So have we defended all of our threatened towns? I think we pretty much have. Gonna end the turn there. So Zarfax does not move too far. Red, or blue even, actually lands back on that island. Okay, need to remember our other Cove town is threatened. Okay, so spell options still pretty bad despite everything. We still have just one spell power. I think we just go for a Timely Bless. But yeah, those Wyverns are a problem. Let's at least move out of their range. So I didn't really think too much about that, but it looks like they still can't reach us. I think the Trogs are safe. Yeah, we're gonna go for this, we're gonna save our spell points. Okay, so we have no slow. We do have Lightning Bolt, we do have Bless. We do have Shield as well, if we had a stack good enough to take some hits. But we don't. So yeah, Lightning Bolt, 35 points of damage, it's just so bad. I think maybe we curse these. They are going to come in to attack us. So this hero is not too much of a threat, that's something that could at least help us out. Do we go for Cure? We do have Dispel, which is probably more useful. So with the 4 attack, we're actually able to do quite a nice amount. I'm not sure what the towers are thinking with that one. Gonna have to go for another Dispel, I think. Oh, that's a bad position because of the dragons, yep. Okay, saw that a little bit too late. That was pointless. Okay, we're not winning this, but we are going to do a pretty good amount of damage. I don't know why the towers would go for that. Makes no sense. So the ideal situation here is if we could find a way to make it possible for someone other than Jaegar to deal with this. Because Jaegar can deal with anything. But weakening the sky as much as possible could help out someone else. Okay, so Castle Town is about to be attacked. Okay, let's just go ahead and grab this town. This is one town we've not owned at any point in the playthrough. Still no chain lightning. Okay, let's meet you shower these. Okay, so the town is taken, they only have Mage Skill level 2. Could go to Mage Skill level 3, no available units to recruit. Okay, I think we don't get distracted, I think we probably just go to the west. The only other option is if we go to defend this town instead. So Gunjula is going to be pretty difficult to hold off. It's a little bit too late to really get the Pool of Glory. Should have perhaps done that. What we can do is if we can just put someone in the town. So Mafala, I guess is... yeah, Mafala's already in the town. Alright, it's actually going to have to be Jaegar. So we do that, we're going to buy Andra in this town. Although Terek comes with battle machines, but not ones we can use in siege defense. Basic wisdom, basic tactics. Wisdom's not going to be too helpful. Kind of depends what she can do. Okay, so she's going to go into the town. We go back to Moston. Jaegar comes out. Jaegar now goes for visions. Let's see what the spell point situation is. So only 12 spell points, not very good stats, only just over 100 halberdiers. I'm actually going to go Pool of Glory. We have enough gold to splash around on whatever we like. An angel could make a difference. Okay, so time for the big fight with Ufritin. Ufritin does have very good stats, only 30 spell points, so that's really good. Magic Elemental is a big threat. But yeah, let's go for this. That was annoying. Okay. So we do have stuff like Implosion. Magic Elemental is very much the biggest threat. So Wyvern Monarchs are able to reach us. I think with that being the case, we just go for the attack. They go for the sharpshooters, not too surprising. Orange does have towns they can retreat to. So that's something to look out for. Probably a reason to go all out with Resurrection. Maybe not though. Probably should have imploded the next warriors. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. Going for blind on everything. But he is out of spell points, so we can use that to our advantage. So we could go for summons if we want to. We do have Earth Elementals available. I think imploding some of his scariest stacks makes more sense. It's very expensive, but I think it's worth doing. Okay, so he wakes those two stacks up for some reason. 60 Minotaurs should hold out pretty well. Gonna go for these. I think it's the most bang for our buck. Ah, we missed our turn through morale. That's really annoying because these go on to get luck and they're able to kill off a huge number of Scorpicors. That actually could make a massive difference in a really bad way. So we can go for Resurrection on these, let's just do it. Although they're not the most resilient stack, so perhaps not the best choice. Okay, we're gonna finish these off. Oh wow. I brought those back just for the damage they could do, but it's not gonna work out. At least he can't hit us with any massive spells. Gonna keep going for Resurrections. He flees. I was really hoping we could tempt him not to do so. Okay, so a lot of losses, but we have taken out probably the strongest hero on the map. Advanced navigation. So there is also Uland who approaches us with a fairly strong force. We don't have too many defenders in this town, we probably do have to deal with him directly. Meanwhile, Cuthbert has landed to the south, but he's not too strong. If we go back to Dima, Might be able to catch Caitlyn, not sure. Gotta try. So, no great spots to land. Yeah, he's literally taken probably the only landing spot on that side. Still, if he chooses to go north, we can just chase him, and if he chooses to go south, same thing. Okay, so 2 heroes approach from this direction. Malekith is able to reach the town of Bok. His forces are not great, but I think we just gotta try it. Very considerate of him to place his 2 range units next to each other. Okay, so don't want to use this. These will absorb retaliation. Don't want to lose this final dragon, but might not be too much we can do about that. Yeah, he does go for it. Okay. Okay, we get the air shield. I don't think that actually helps us with towers. Maybe it does in Horn of the Abyss, actually. The rest of the units are forced out to attack us. Don't think we go for this, I think we just defend. Okay, so we have 19 spell power, so if we go for blind on these, that pretty much gives us freedom to do as we please. As long as we don't run out of spell points, we should be fine. So Magic Spring is a 2-sided map object, which means if we want to, we can go back to it, visit the other side of it. So we're safe to go for things like Earthquake, and I will do that. Okay, so that's the most important job done. We start bringing our units back. What else do we have? These. Still got more units, so the 1 stack of Grand Elves. Is that it? These as well. Still able to take the town with only the 1 loss to the dragon, which we can't really do anything about. We're going to go for expert archery. Go into the town, grab the extra attack. We can go for additional units if we want to, but they've already bought most of the good ones. Okay, so have we cleared orange out of this side of the map? I think maybe we have. So Than is going to the north, but I think we can deal with that. Still need to deal with Uland. Probably still better off landing next to the town. Okay, so before we forget, we do have the threat of Gunja to worry about. Do we definitely have everything we need for that? I think we do. I'm gonna watch this back one more time. So this hero should not actually be a threat. Might not even be worth chasing them down. Zarfax, I think we can deal with a combination of Zalair and fire. Orange hero over there still needs to be dealt with, but Malekith could do that. Jaegar also could do that. So what can Jedi do? Jedi can go towards this, but I think we can hold that off. So Alamar needs to chase Uland down. Annoyingly, whichever side we land on, he'll just run away from. Ah, that's so annoying. I think we're going to assume Transum can hold out. And we're going to send Jaegar to the west instead. Not that there's any major threat in that direction. Alamar just has to go for this, so we need to take the last of Orange's town, and that will force Uland to attack, even if we can't chase him down. So Jedi doesn't really have too much important to be doing, but I guess there is Coronius. Coronius could still take that town, so we might actually be better off going south now. In hindsight, would have been good to do that the whole time, but gonna have to just make do. Okay, so Zalair goes to this. Starts moving up in this direction. Malekith. Is it worth taking any of these units? So Ogre Magi could be good, but they will drop our morale, so I don't think we bother. I think we start going to the east. Gunnar is good where he is. We end the turn there. So yep, red does board the ship. Actually goes defensive in the rampart town, going towards the tower town over there. Okay, so yeah, we can see he's starting to recruit a load of extra heroes again, but as long as he can't defend them, we should be okay. We'll see if we can hold this off too. So they managed to take down our gate immediately. I think we save our spell points. Okay, let's defend. Champions will go for this. I think we will go for a magic arrow. Just in the hopes we can now get a kill. Which doesn't quite work out. We get poisoned too. Fine. Probably shouldn't go for this, but it's done. I think this is winnable, but there's no chance we can hold anything off afterwards. I have noticed one of the strange things about this map is at no point did we see any really crazily big armies. We've just been so spread out the whole time. And we're still doing these pretty low-level fights, but it's got to be done. Can make a big difference. Okay. Don't actually fancy my chances against those, so I think we're going to try and run away from them. No spell points left we can use. Let's go for the ballista. Does it make sense to wait? I think we actually just go defensive. Okay, so we are able to win. We'll go for Advanced Wisdom, we'll go for Earth Magic, we'll go for Advanced Earth Magic just in case. And Teal is immediately throwing another scout at us. So what does this one have? Ah, it's Krelian. So it's not really even a scout, it's a strong hero. So this is perhaps why Jaegar is not the best choice to go for this, because we'd rather be using a better hero. Thing is, this town... yeah, it's just that annoying Classic Heroes 3 situation. If we leave this town, Ulan's going to come back to the east and take it. If we don't go to the east, Krelian is going to take Transom. Jaegar, if he doesn't go to the west, Malev is going to pump out endless numbers of heroes. It's that kind of thing we have to worry about. Okay, Malekith is going to go for spell power, I guess. Then we start going south. Gunnar is going to head off our opponents before they can reach us. Blue should be pretty close to timing out. So if Galer goes for the siege, there are now some extra defenders in there. I actually don't massively fancy his chances. But maybe we throw him at it, just to soften them up before Kaya arrives. Problem is his spellcasting is just not very good. Does have the Ice Bolt, but it's not much. More Oceanids, okay, that's unexpected. Okay, so Alamar still has problems to deal with, but yeah, I think we do want to really end Orange. So Jedi is still on his way to the south. It's going to take him several turns to reach. Jaegar is realistically probably already committed, although Krelian is definitely taking this town, so is that the right move? Takes Jaegar also around 4 turns just to get close. It's that a little bit worse for still having no movement spells. So if Alamar gets in the boat, he can take on Krelian. No units available to recruit. So we have Spin and we have Terek. Terek does come with a few useful items. It's not going to be enough to hold anything off, but I really do want to take down Krellian. Okay, so blue is coming to attack us. I actually forgot about that town. Need to defend that too. Pretty much every town threatened. Not at all surprised to see Krellian going for this. Okay, so can we get on a boat this turn? Is there still more Dima can do? So yeah, we can get on a boat. So Morton has very few units. I think any hero in this town should work. Seeing if we can find a movement boost. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, let's just go for spell power, morale, extra experience, which does level us up, and mysticism is better long term, but I think expert interference could be quite important in this fight. So blue is now going south. We could try to chase them down. I think we're going to have to go for that. Although he is the obvious choice to put back in a town. As we look through. Yeah, someone does have to do that, unfortunately. Nope, he does not have archery. Okay, so we won't go for that artifact. So let's just go ahead and spend some of our copious resources on defenders wherever we can. This town just needs some kind of hero. Potentially neither of these get the job done. Depends on Morton's spellcasting, but we'll see what he does. Okay, we go for this once again. So it's Ufratin, who is a hero worth taking out. Oh, unfortunately, we've missed our turn with the units that could have finished him off, and I do want to go for the resurrection, of course. Oh no, these can do it. Okay, Ufratin goes down, we get a few useful artifacts off him. Now I think we probably want to go straight to the east, but if we could find another town gate, that would be really good. And it looks like we could send Gunnar out if we want to. So Uland is going to come for us, but main thing is, let's use Alamar. So do we go for this? Some of these stacks are probably better off on Kaya. So yeah, Nyx Warriors, always worth having. Sea Dogs also could be pretty good, although in a siege attacking scenario, maybe not. Might do better than the Gargoyles though. So I'm pretty sure, unless he has ballistic skill, he has no chance to cast a spell. Alright, I'm gonna go back to going for things like Viewer, because at this point we are just sweeping up what's left, so we can see 2 orange heroes to our north. That's kind of it. Malekith could deal with that. So, easiest way for Jaegar to get back over to this stuff if he needs to. There isn't really an easy way. I think we maybe need to go after this. So Bertram has almost nothing left. Then there's one more hero to the west. I think we still go this way. So have a quick look through our towns so we know about Spint. Another one we could bring out is, of course, Gunnar. And there's also Mafala, who's not doing too much, but that's probably fine. Over in this town, there's not really much we can do, but let's at least spread these units out. Almost forgot. So if she does take the town, it's fine. It's a final job for Dima to do. Red announces his attack several business days in advance. Losses expected here. Seems pretty unavoidable. You know what? Just let it happen. And then blue spreads around, and I forgot about this as well. There's really not much here. I don't think we do attack. They're making the mistake again of staying in the moat. So even though I did neglect to buy defenders here, the little we have, I think, should get the job done. There's no spell she can go for. Okay, fine, we'll take it. So, yeah, that actually does work out over there. This town is threatened from multiple directions. Not really much we can do. Spell power is reduced to 1. Really? Okay, the chase continues for blue. This is why we have several powerful heroes. It does make a difference. So if we go for this, we do still have plenty of movement points still to land. Really? Okay. So this is a red hero, which means they will still flee, given the chance. Okay, so we can try going for blind. It's not really going to help us too much. I think we just have to spam resurrection. So best units to bring back, 44 of these. Seven acids. I don't think it makes sense to do that yet. Let's go for cure. Very strange choice. Ah, he flees, okay. So do we still have enough? So this is Zyron, which helps. Gotta land and take him on. So the blue hero is fleeing in this direction, let's just chase him down. This direction is actually safe for now. Jedi has almost made it across the reinforce, so if something does go wrong, then Jedi should be able to come along and finish Krelian off. So Zalair, does Zalair go in just to soften up Red? It is Red's only town. I just don't really see what he can achieve. Yeah, if he was a good spellcaster, maybe it would make sense to attack, but I don't think it does. I am going to go for this. So it only works once per week, but then we go to the other side, and we get our spell points anyway. Okay, so Kaya needs to go for this. Before I forget, I'm going to just buy some defenders in this town. So if they do happen to come across and attack us with these heroes, they're not going to be strong enough to do it. I think though I am going to end the episode here, so a lot of sieges one way and the other, but I think we are gradually getting there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.